welcome to the Kismet Podcast. My name is Carina and today I'm very excited to introduce you all to Rebecca Abasiri. Woo-hoo-hoo. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing real good. How you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited to be here and spend some time with you because we don't see each other often.
I know. It's lovely that we have a bit of a chat on Slack, but it's nice to be in person.
It's nice to be in person, yeah.
I'm very excited to get into a bunch of stuff with you today. But before we get going, can you give me a brief rundown of what you do at Kismet?
Yeah, sure. So I work in the customer experience team and I'm focused on retention. So what I do day to day is through proactive engagement, I strengthen our clients' relationships and looking to improve the service satisfaction, sometimes resolving issues. So just keeping our clients supported and happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how did you make it to Kismet? What's your background?
Yeah, sure. So it's a cool story. So I have no experience in tech or business or things like that, but my background's in science and arts. And I did a Master of Biotech recently as well. Yeah.
That's so wild, dude.
Yeah. So what happened was did my undergrad. I was working in pretty much every industry like retail, hospitality. I was a tutor for a long time for maths and science. Yeah. And then after my undergrad, I started moving into some more clinical roles. So I was working in the hospital, doing PPE spotting. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that?
Yeah, so it's during COVID, there were COVID wards opened at hospitals and everyone was in full PPE. So all I had to do was observe them, make sure everyone was protected correctly to protect the patients as well as the community. So it was quite serious, but it was really interesting. I just worked in part-time roles like that during my undergrad and throughout my master's. And then during my last semester of my master's, I had an opportunity to do an internship, science and technology internship, and landed one at Kismet, which is really cool. And then after that internship, I had about a week off, and then the customer experience role opened. So it was really surprising and really fun. And I was really grateful that I can stay on board with the team. So it was really cool to be a part of it. Yeah.
Wow. And how long have you been at Kismet now?
So about 2 years.
Oh, wow. So you were there pretty early on in the beginning.
Yeah.
Great.
So I have so many cool memories during my internship speaking directly with the founders. And I remember I had a chat with Matt T, who's the CTO and co-founder. And I remember just thinking this dude probably has so many other things to do and he's talking to me, and I remember being really nervous and intimidated. And I was telling him about a uni project I was doing and he was really, really nice, and he was guiding me through some things that I could add to the project. And I was just wow, this is so cool. And everyone is so brilliant at Kismet. So it's really, really exciting and I'm very grateful.
So what was your original plan when you went to uni and you were doing biotech, right? What was the original goal? What were you looking to do?
Yeah, so I am interested in research. So I thought that I was going to end up in some sort of research field. I've just always been passionate about science. The biotech degree was really cool. Learned so much about commercialization and regulation and bringing a product from the lab to reality. So it was really fun and helpful. But just never ended up there. I ended up in tech. So it's really still great and stimulating, and I'm learning heaps and things that I've never been exposed to before. So it's been really beneficial.
And what are you currently enjoying about what you're doing right now?
I really enjoy how the day-to-day is different. So at Kismet, there's a lot of change month to month. So things don't always look the same in the day-to-day, and I really enjoy that. I like connecting with people. So I have the privilege of speaking with people every day, and they come from different backgrounds and they have wonderful stories. And it's really wholesome and nice to talk with our clients and meet people, even if it's over the phone or you meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that's, I mean, gosh, I imagine that your experience in a bunch of different roles like retail and hospo and all those things, they're all in a similar realm, aren't they, in terms of helping people, hospitality, in terms of going above and beyond to give somebody a good experience in whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think helping people and wanting to do that comes from?
I think I've always been like an empathetic person, and like I loved always helping others. I worked in disability employment services as well. So I actually have worked with people with disabilities and helped them reach, in that case, their job outcomes. So in this role, it's really nice working toward their real goals in life and, you know, reducing their admin from their plate. Yeah.
So I would love to have a chat about, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm really excited to talk to you about. So maybe we can start with goals. How do you feel about goals? Is that something that you have a strong connection with or to? Is it something that you've done often? What are your thoughts on goals?
Yeah. I have a good relationship with goals now. I think I've gotten better over time. So I think I'm really good at visualizing what I want, and I see myself having achieved a goal, but I'm not always the best at breaking that goal down into sort of tasks that I can prioritize and execute. Execute on. So yeah, like I'm learning to really write out things and make up a plan towards the goal rather than just always look at the long-term vision. So I think work's helped me with that a bit. So yeah, that's my relationship with goals.
Yeah. Do you have a memory of the first goal that you ever kind of thought about maybe, or maybe like the first thing that you were like, I'm interested in this. This is something that I'm going to like reach for?
Probably like training goals, like in the gym.
Oh, cool.
I'm working on a goal right now. I've just started yoga, so
how's it going?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm like, I've started this year, so I'm not sure like how long you need to do yoga until you can say you're a yogi. But I hope I could be a yogi. Maybe it's actually I was talking to Lockie at work about this by the next financial year that I want to be able to do a headstand.
That's awesome.
So he's been keeping me accountable every time I see him in the office and asks me how it's going. And it's going, but
it's going.
It's not there.
How are you? What's the progress? Because you sort of can you start them on the wall? Like how does that?
Yeah, so I think it's just more strengthening like other areas of your body first, and like being really grounded and stable, and then you can sort of work up to it. So I'm getting there, but it's definitely
it's hard.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's pretty serious stuff, but it's very cool. So
are you able to do the circular breathing that they talk about?
Yes, yeah. So and box breathing.
Big deal.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff is really effective.
Yeah.
Mindfulness and breath work. So yeah, I've really been diving into that over the last maybe 2 years.
Yeah,
and finding like huge benefits from it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I think, I've struggled in the past with yoga because the movements are one thing, but the breathing I find really challenging. I find it really difficult to sync it all up together and kind of do multiple things at once.
Yeah,
it's always get distracted.
Yeah.
Which is not the point of yoga. It's supposed to like center you, and the whole time I'm distracted by going, I'm not breathing in the right way.
I'm the exact same. I was just about to say that. Like I can't like stop my mind sometimes, and you have to remember that the only thing that you need to do in that moment is breathe, and that nothing else. I've never had a perfect meditation where I can not think like about something, but
it's funny how that happens. Hey, like it's we're our own worst enemies in that way. Always overthinking.
Yeah. But I think it's great to like honor yourself and have gratitude with a practice like that. So it's like a nice way to show yourself like love. So as long as it like just doing it is enough.
I'd love to have a chat. So you shared prior to this chat today that your family own and run a wellness centre, right? Like a holistic wellness centre. Yep. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was like growing up with that kind of influence around, and how that's maybe impacted how you view health, how you view the day-to-day? What was that like?
Yeah. So it's called the Feel Good Hood. It's quite a new business. It's not that I grew up with that being a thing, but It's really great. Like, it's so good to do something together as a family, and like we've been through a lot of challenges and like crazy times, but it's going really well. The best thing about it is just like having an impact on people and like their health and their lives, and it's in the community, so it makes me feel really good, and I'm really happy for my brother who runs it, and my dad helps him alongside. So it's they're the best.
Yeah. Is he older than you, younger?
Yes, I have an older brother.
Awesome. Yeah. How was that? Did you like having an older brother growing up?
It's the best. You share 50% of your DNA with your sibling, right? But that 50% is 100% between my brother and I. I actually know that you don't. It might be anywhere between 30 and 60 or something percent like that.
Okay.
So it's because you don't share the exact same 50% from your parents, right? It's a mix, a different mix. That's why you don't look exactly the same. Like twins. So, but yeah, I always joke about that because we are exactly the same, but he's a guy. So he's the best. We have a really close relationship, very similar interests.
Yeah.
And
So speaking of similar interests, you shared that you're pretty big on astrology right now, right?
Yes.
How did you get into that? And what do you get out of it? I'm really curious.
Yeah, sure. So it's a very new thing, so I don't know everything. How do I get into it? I think I've always been into it, but like recently, I think it's become a more stronger belief system for me because I don't have many other things. So, I think it brings me a lot of comfort in reading, about my sign. I'm a Sagittarius, so
Great.
yeah, and I just can relate to it like so much, and I'm like, wow, I'm like a textbook Sagittarius. Like that's exactly how you would describe me. And yeah, I think everything happens for a reason, and it does tie back to the sun, moon, and stars. And it might be a bit woo, but it's cool for me. Yeah.
I mean, Kismet love a bit of woo-woo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that tracks.
I think I'm exactly where I should be.
Oh, good. Yeah. And so have you found that with the knowledge that you have about maybe personality traits about someone's sign and if you're compatible or not in terms of just like when you meet people or when you're working with people, is that something that you have found to be useful? Like if you know that you're working with this person and they are a Scorpio, that like you know how to approach a Scorpio. Do you know what I mean? Like I've always been really curious about that, if it actually impacts your day-to-day in terms of compatibility.
Yeah, compatible. Yes and no. Like I'm never gonna vibe with someone just off their sign. Like I'll vibe with them regardless.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like when I do find out what their sign is, I'm just like, oh, that explains that. Like
that tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. But get along with everyone. So yeah.
Has there been something in particular over the last couple of years that you've been getting interested in it that you've gone, oh, that really explains a lot? Like if it's lunar eclipse or if there's like certain things that you've noticed about time of year or that you go, oh, that really tracks with how I've been over the last, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months or whatever?
Yeah, I think with the moon and especially it's really funny. I can tie it to when things get crazy at work and generally I see a trend overall for people like, calling up and going through it and or feeling heavy and emotional. So I don't know for sure, but I know.
Yeah. On that, Beck, I am really curious because the industry that we are in and the calls and the folks that you're in communication with a lot, it is some pretty hard stuff that they're going through on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
And I am curious how you go with being exposed to that all the time and how you take care of yourself because it can be a lot. There's people going through some big stuff.
Yeah, definitely. My approach to it is I just come from a place of gratitude that they're sharing with me. So I'm very open, to whatever they want to share with me. And I think it's important to not come from a place of judgment. So, just being there to listen. And I find that many people just want someone to do that, just listen. Things generally go like fine by the end of the call. And then I am pretty good at like detaching from, some of the harder conversations. And then the way I sort of cope is probably with gym and yoga
Yeah.
and mindfulness. Yeah. So take my mind off things. But yeah, I don't find it too difficult.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to hear that because it can be overwhelming sometimes.
It
Yeah.
can. And I have a really great team. So when I do have something that throws me off a little, I'll just debrief with them. And then I find after you debrief, it's easy to move on.
Yeah. Gosh, we haven't spent a huge amount of time together in the same place, and it's so lovely. And I get such a positive energy from you, and I'm really curious if there's something that within that positive sort of vibe that I get and that that you give out to the world. Is there something, Beck, that maybe there's like a story that you tell yourself about yourself that maybe isn't true, that maybe you kind of put a ceiling on yourself for whatever reason that you've been able to recognize over time that, oh, that's not necessarily something that relates to me or that is true for me?
Yeah, so there are. And I think like as I've gotten older, I've become more confident and sure of myself. I think when I was younger, it's easy to feel different to your friends, and then, you want to be like them. And then as you get older, you get a bit more comfortable and confident. But maybe things like I do have perfectionism tendencies. So I think over time I've really learned that I don't have to be perfect, but I just have to try and give it my best shot with things. So I think in the past it's really hindered like effort or going for something. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if it's going to have a good outcome. But yeah, I think that took me a while to accept, and I think that's something I'm still working on it.
How have you found that with your approach to yoga recently? Have you been able to sort of let a little bit of that go and just meet yourself where you're at?
Yeah. And I read something about how like with the gym, you have to tear muscle to repair it, right? So why would it be any different for your mind and your spirit? And I was like, that is so true. Like that's exactly why practices like yoga really complement what you're doing for your physical body. So it's just like you have to have a holistic approach to health, and I'm really passionate about that. Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, I would love to hear a little bit more about that holistic approach, because you've shared that you have been on a bit of a journey over the last little while of sort of figuring some things out with your health. So could you maybe tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So very comfortable sharing this. I have endometriosis and adenomyosis. It affects 1 in 9 women, or 1 in 8. I was diagnosed when I was 19. I've always had painful periods, but I think there was a time where I had a pain episode that sent me to the hospital, and I thought my appendix had burst. So I was just like, I'm just getting my appendix out. And then when they went in, I got my diagnosis. So I'm quite lucky that happened very early on. So yeah, from there I've had like a laparoscopy to treat it, and my experience, with medical practitioners has been interesting.
Yeah.
It was on the news recently too, like
I just saw those reports come out.
Yeah.
Wild stuff,
it's
dude.
wild stuff, and I think it's important women speak about it because they can make informed choices about how they do want to treat their symptoms, because it's untreatable. So, you can't heal it, or what's the word? You can't cure it. That's the word. Yeah, like for me personally, what I do is I like to stay away from medications, and I like to come from more natural, holistic approach. And I find that with diet and exercise, some supplements, that I can, find a lot of relief.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. Someone at work who's very special to me, she told me about when we met, during the first week that we met, she asked me about like healing endo from a trauma perspective, and I've never heard of that before. And I was like, why have I never heard of that? Like no one's ever said that, something like that to me. And then it was really interesting later on, a couple months later, someone else said that to me, and then another person said that to me, and I was like, maybe this is like a journey that I need to go down and find out more about it. So yeah, what I ended up doing last year was I went overseas and did a plant medicine ceremony to heal it. So it was really, really interesting. It was with mushrooms, psilocybin, and it was with a shaman, and it was in a controlled environment. There's quite a few ceremonies leading up to a bigger one. But what she did was basically clear energy from my body. Yeah. So, and I found that it really helped. Like it's everything's going great. And yeah, like it's something I never considered in the past, and it's still all new to me. But I think it's really cool that, you know, you can go down a different route instead of, just taking opioids or like painkillers. So, it's been a really cool journey for me. And I hope women will consider other options and, that they can get the benefits too.
Beck, that's so big.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. It's part of my identity, but it's not like a really defining thing. Like it's just something that, I have and I manage, and I don't really think a lot about it.
Was the level of pain that you're experiencing impacting your day-to-day every month? Like
and I find and I'm sure women can relate, like people when I was younger, at least before my diagnosis, even with my own family, they wouldn't understand, and maybe not even sometimes maybe not even believe me. So it was actually a relief, like getting the diagnosis, because I'm like, oh, what a relief, like that explains that. And then I had something that I could work towards or do. I could do something about it.
So when you had, after this ceremony, I'm so curious to even, like, how was that something that you found out about?
Yeah, so as I said, like from that first conversation with my colleague, it went to a holistic health coach, and then they referred me and said, like, this is something that I think you'd be interested in, and I'll connect you. And there was a lot of time that we spent like over the phone and on Zoom calls leading up to it. And it was really interesting. I never ever heard treating endo from that.
Never. Like, it's the first time I've heard it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but there is a lot of literature talking about how people with endo have some sort of trauma. So I could never connect like exactly what event that was in my life. But I just like have it and I tried it.
So fascinating. Yeah. I have so many questions. So the ceremony itself, how long does that go for?
Yeah, so it was a week long.
Oh, wow.
It was a week long. So there was different things I did every day. I had a lot of downtime too, where I could sort of integrate everything that happened at the ceremony and then think about everything that happened and journal. So it was about a week.
And was it the sort of thing that you felt an initial change, or was it the kind of thing that over time you recognized that things had shifted? I'm curious to know how it worked for you, like how you felt it, like in your person and in more so like, yes, in your body, but also like, maybe this is a little too woo-woo, but like spiritually in a way, like how that affected you?
Yeah. Like measuring the success.
Essentially, Like, how did you know that it worked?
Yeah. So I had to really think about that too, because I wanted to get the most out of it as well. I think, like, obviously the first one would be reduce and alleviate pain. Like, that's the first thing. Yeah. And then, it probably does go to mindset and, like, how I feel, you know, spiritually, and the joy I have for life and things like that. So I think, all those things got better. So I would say it was a success. I don't know. I think I'm still sort of on that journey as well. Like it's an ongoing thing. And sometimes I'll think back to a moment during that week and I'm like, oh, that clicks with why this is happening today.
Interesting.
Why I feel this way. So it's really, really deep stuff.
And how do you maintain, obviously it's not, I imagine not the kind of thing that you can just go over every 3 months or whatever and just sort of have this experience again. How do you maintain what you learned over there on the day-to-day? Is there things that you've been able to take, as you mentioned, that have been really useful for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think just like the practice of journaling. I'm not a huge journaler, but I do think a lot. So it's been really nice, like penciling out some things and then sort of letting that thing like flow through my body and leave me.
Yeah, right.
I remember this quote, not every feeling is justified just because you feel it. So I think the brain is very interesting and goes in many directions and can be a bit deceiving sometimes. So, yeah, I've really learnt that some things I feel like I don't need to assign meaning to it. I can just sort of move on. Yeah. It might be why I'm good at coping at work with all the tricky ones. But, yeah.
That's awesome. You can just sort of take it in the moment.
Yeah.
Do that classic yoga thing of like the thought comes in, you let it go, and then
with the breath. And I've always been like not that serious of a person. Like maybe I am a bit serious, but just like chill in the sense that I try not. Things don't get to me pretty easily, and I just like having fun and vibing.
So speaking of vibes, you're an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, I am.
That's wild. Can you tell me in what ways you practice being an adrenaline junkie?
Yes. I am an adrenaline junkie, and I would love to do more, like to get more adrenaline. But I've did things like skydiving, and like I love swimming in the ocean, and because it's so scary, like the things you see. Went to the Great Barrier Reef a couple of years ago for the first time, and I'd never seen anything like it. And then it's just so big, so that's probably the most adrenaline I've had. But I haven't did anything too crazy like swim with sharks. I'd like to do that.
How have you been skydiving multiple times?
No, just once.
Okay.
And I thought maybe I should do another one. I did it for my 18th birthday, so I think maybe like the next birthday or...
Were you scared?
No, I wasn't scared at all. I think there was a moment where you're just about to jump out and you just feel how high in the sky you are, and then you get that feeling in your heart and your stomach. But I think I like that feeling. So
Literally hearing you talk about that, my palms are sweating.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Yeah. And just things like I love animals. So I've had some really cool encounters with some scary animals, but they're not scary to me.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah.
What kind of animals?
So I love snakes. I love reptiles. I wish I could have one, but I don't know. There's nothing that I really want in Australia.
Okay.
We've just got like venomous species.
I know.
Nothing really cool.
Everything kills you. Yeah.
Yeah, everything kills you here. But and I'm like, if I saw a wild snake, it's not like I'd be totally cool and like try and pick it up and stuff. Like I'm talking in the States, they can have really cool exotic species. Yeah, and I've been to really big reptile zoos there and seen like, anacondas and
How was that?
big reticulated pythons. It's so cool. That stuff really fascinates me. Like, yeah love it.
Bigger than you expected in real life?
Yeah, huge, like 20-foot, like over 20-foot snakes. I went to Sri Lanka recently and I held like a huge reticulated python. I find them so cool how they move and how they're all muscle. So it's just so interesting like how they feel and how they move. And they have like these little modes. So they have like an eat mode and a sleep mode and a fear mode and a scared mode actually. So I was just like, I appreciate like that about them, and like I think it's really cool.
Were they like sizing you up when you were?
No, I don't think that's a real thing. I think that's a myth that people tell to scare people. Like I don't think I've ever got sized up by a snake. Maybe I have, but I think that we're getting along and having a moment.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. They can eat me up.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
It'd be memorable.
Yeah. I'm terrified though of spiders. So that's
Really?
just and overall insects, like things that fly in your face.
Reptile would be great for you because they can just deal with that
They can do
on your behalf. Perfect.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
How good. So where did you go in the States when you travelled?
That reptile zoo was in California, so that was like 3 hours away from LA.
Yep.
It was really cool. It's called Jay's Prehistoric Pets.
Oh my gosh.
Have you heard of that Instagram? Yeah.
No, I'm going to look it up.
He's pretty big on Instagram, so I went by myself and it was something I really wanted to do, and I just went and did it. And I think that those kind of things make me happy. No one wanted to do that with me, but I still made it happen. So
Did you see a sloth?
I didn't see a sloth, so I think the sloth's new there at that place.
Wow.
But
There's some like crazy birds on here.
yeah, there's some really cool stuff.
Oh,
Really
I see
cool.
the I see the snake. No, 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 no.
You don't like it? I just think they're cool, and they can be like different colors and the way they breed them.
It's
really
incredible. Like how I just don't want to be anywhere near it.
Anywhere.
This is crazy. There's a blue snake here.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. Like it ties into like science and genetics, the way they do all these things. So I think it's just like why I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he do breeding there as well?
Yeah, they do breeding, and they've got a lot of programs there in the States. But we have some cool things here in Australia, like venom farming and stuff. Venomous snakes making antidotes. So
that's crazy cool,
that's
isn't
cool,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that stuff scares me.
Yeah, the immediacy of like the help that you need if you get bitten by a snake is pretty wild.
Yep. Yeah. My dog Holly had a close call. Like her head was right near it, and then I just saw it, and then I yanked her away, put her inside the house, and then I ran back outside to take photos of the snake.
What snake was it?
It was a copperhead. I thought it was a brown snake. It was quite small, like juvenile, probably like a meter long. It was like hidden in the grass. So yeah, that really shook me, because I was like, that could have meant Holly was gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just put her in the house, and I was like, I have to get footage of this.
That's wild, eh?
So yeah, it was cool, but it was really scary. Like it definitely gave me an adrenaline rush, and scared me.
Come at me again.
Yeah, no, it was scary. I'm lucky it didn't really move. It was just still.
What dog is Holly?
She's a German short-haired pointer. Yeah. So she's a real hectic dog.
Big girl.
Yeah. She's really cool. So yeah, she's high energy, hunting breed. So she keeps me busy, and she's the best though. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, I love her.
I would love to know how you feel about luck. Do you think you're lucky?
Yeah. I do think I'm lucky. They say Sagittarius is the luckiest sign in the zodiac.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, like it's a fact. It's a fact. It's pseudoscience.
It is. It's a fact. So they say it's written in the stars.
Yeah. So I knew this from a young age as well, like that I was lucky, because I always won, school competitions or awards or like raffle. Remember how they raffle?
Love a raffle.
Yeah, like I'd come home and I have like a pirate statue and chocolates, and I'm like, Mom, I won. Like, haven't won the lottery yet, but I think one day
you got to keep. I
got to keep going.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm a very lucky person. Yeah. I don't know.
That's so interesting. Do you feel like you make it yourself, or that you just inherently have it because you're a Sagittarius and it's just written?
Yeah, I think there's an element of that, and maybe just like energy in and out, like what I put into the world, I generally have good come back to me. So
yeah,
like a karmic thing. So
yeah, okay,
yeah. So yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah,
what you put out.
Agreed. Yeah, it's certainly something that you attract what you put out into the world for sure. Yeah, I'm a believer in that as well. I think that there is a certain level of curating that you can do, right? And also I think that if you go about the world and you approach things in a way that is open and kind and having an awareness of that, then I think you do tend to bring that back.
Yeah.
I'm on board. I'm curious, do you have a Roman Empire at the moment that you just can't stop thinking about? If you got something that you're watching or reading or listening to that you're like, damn, I can't get enough of this thing.
I like some streamers, like I like Kai Cenat and I Show Speed.
Okay. Who are these people? I've never heard of them.
They're all from the States.
Okay.
And it's just so entertaining. Like streaming is huge for like the younger generation.
Yes, of which I am no longer.
Yeah, I would say I'm on the cusp too, like that it's a different world. But yeah, I love like a good YouTube. I'm not reading anything at the moment. I'm sort of not trying to be on a screen. I'm just like moving.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Easier said than done.
I know. It is, because we're on a screen at work, so it's nice like switching off after the day.
Yeah, for sure. So when you say streaming, I'm just a little bit curious. I just want to come back to that. Is that's not like gaming streaming? That's just like live streaming, whatever?
Yeah. So those YouTubers just live stream, and they just do like outrageous shit and like they go overseas, and just everyone knows them. So
this is like a Mr. Beast style thing?
Yeah, okay. I like Mr. Beast too. Like I love the content he puts out. But the streaming that I'm in. I like playing video games, so and some of the people at Kismet do too.
Yeah,
so
what do you play?
It's called World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So, you know the game?
I do know. Yes,
So
thank you.
how many hours have you wasted of your life? Like
I haven't because I don't play, but I know it because people in my life play it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's addictive, right?
Yeah, it's really addictive.
Yeah, crazy.
It's really addictive. There's a lot of like the lore and just questing, and it's just like not a quick dopamine fix game. It's like some real grind.
Yeah, right.
But I loved that, and I had to stop playing because I was like, I don't have time to play.
Yeah, wow.
But I actually like to become like a video game streamer, because then I can do what I love and play video games online.
Yeah. How good.
It'd be so nice. It's so good working with people that are into that.
It's fun.
Into those things, because and I can ask them for advice like when I do want to start streaming. So it's just like, Nick and I have been talking about it, and he's got like his own group, and
he's amazing.
He's
Nick
so
Upton,
cool.
who's part of our acquisitions team, the amount of knowledge that he has is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It just feels so embedded in his life too. Like it's just such a big part of how he moves through the world, which is super cool.
Yeah. He's a really cool guy.
Gaming is not in my Venn diagram. It's a huge part of the world to take part in this in a very serious way.
Yeah.
Like there's camps for kids.
Yeah.
To put them in to make them achieve the highest they can. Like it's really wild. It's crazy cool.
Yeah. There's this show called Players. I'm pretty sure it's called Players. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever watched, and it's a group of guys. It's comedy, and they're like dumb comedy. Like they just say the most outrageous things, and they're a team and they play League of Legends. So that's a good, if you want some good TV, that I recommend that.
Yeah, right. Dude, it feels like another language.
Yeah.
It really does. It is. League of Legends, I literally just learned about last week because it's like a thing that's happening at the Games Expo, and I was like,
yeah. Oh my goodness.
I felt 1 million years old. Yeah. So what would your ideal, you would stream World of Warcraft? Like that would be the thing?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to do things like mount farming. So mounts are things that they're like dragons or really cool animals or butterflies, like flying mounts and things like that that you can ride, but you have to find them and farm them. So yeah, I'd probably do stuff like that because it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Or questing or dungeons. So I think when I start playing, I get really good again. So it takes me like some time. It's like muscle memory though. You know what you're doing. Like it clicks and you're like, I'm back. Like, love it. Yeah. It's so good.
Dude, that is so cool. I just have no idea about that world. But so many people do.
Yeah, it's really funny. Lauren at Kismet, she's also used to play Warcraft as well. So it was just so funny when we found that out about each other, and we're like, no way. And I was like, wow, I don't think I could love her any more than I already do. I was
she's
like,
so
now
great.
she's the best.
Yeah.
In my eyes. So it was really funny when that clicked, and we're like, oh my goodness, you're a nerd too.
So many nerds, dude.
I know.
I love a nerd.
Yep. It's the best. Like, it's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Nerds unite.
Yep, nerds unite. How do you stay creative?
How do you stay creative?
Yeah. How do
I stay creative? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Doing these podcasts, I really love because there's a certain structure, but they're different for everyone, of course, right? Like everybody has a different answer. There's that unique, awesome thing about being able to really connect with someone and learn about who they are and what is interesting to them and what's interesting about them is really cool. And it's a pretty rare thing to be able to just properly sit down and have focused time with someone to learn about who they are and just understand about what's interesting. And so that's really fun. That keeps me creative and keeps me connected to other people and the world as well, because so much of the time I work remotely. And so it's really lovely to be able to have these opportunities to meet with people in person and properly like understand who you are and what you do and what your world is like. I didn't know you were a gamer. That is really cool.
Yeah.
and this stuff about the experiences that you've had with reptiles and your health journey. That's unlikely something that we would have come to just having like little chats here and there.
Yeah.
So it's really lovely to be able to have the opportunity to sit down and properly have a focused, intentional conversation to be able to learn about someone. So I've been finding that so fulfilling. And yeah, it's that like energy thing that you were talking about earlier. It's like this kind of thing gives me energy. Like it fills my cup. I find it energizing to do, which is cool, which therefore makes me want to be more creative and fills my creative cup, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just really fun. It's just fun to like be here and like be in the studio and have a chat. So
yeah, I'm trying to figure out like that for myself. Like I always think creativity might be tied to some sort of painting or like art creativity, but I've learned that, you know, there's a lot of ways you can express creativity. So yeah, I'm still finding those outlets, but yeah, it's interesting like hearing it from someone else's perspective.
Yeah, I think the funny thing about being creative, or there always seems to be like an end goal for everything, right? It's like your job has metrics, or at gym you have metrics, and there's some very clear standards that you can achieve in certain things. And I think the beauty and the curse of anything creative is that you are the one who sets the standard of what those limits are, or what those goals are, or what that achievement is. And I think, and I don't want to armchair expert you because obviously I'm not a psychologist, like I don't pretend to be, but it's interesting to me that like someone, you know, that you've mentioned things about perfectionism, interesting that there feels like there needs to be like box tick there in that creative way. With this, there is a podcast that is the product at the end of this creative journey. But in previous creative pursuits that I've been a part of, it can be less structured, which is both really awesome to be able to figure out what that is and learn a lot and have a lot of fun. But also like, what are we doing here? Like if we're all just hanging about and we're like having these conversations about whatever, what is it that we're making? Like what story are we trying to tell? What do we want people to take away from this?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it goes back to connection and
yes.
Yeah, it makes you feel like whole or fulfilled. So
yeah,
I really resonate with that.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, from the very small amount that you've shared with me about gaming, it seems like that's super creative in a way too, right? Because like you get to choose your own adventure.
Yep, exactly. And build your own character and like, it's a different way to express creativity. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's really nice to know.
So it's, I don't know, the whole creativity and art and what we put into the world, I think there's a lot of different options. And I think it's, whatever you want it to be, really.
Yeah, sure.
We get to decide, hey.
Yeah, I agree. It's really nice.
So I'd love to have a last couple of questions with you before we wrap things up today, Beck. And do you have a goal that you're looking to achieve over the next 12 months? Is it the headstand in yoga?
The headstand over the next 6 months. Yeah, probably that's my main goal. And I'm training Holly with some games, like one game every day. So
great.
Yeah, it's because when she is at the park off lead, if I'm like the most fun thing amongst all the distractions at the park, then she'll stay close to me. So I have to really make myself attractive for her, you know.
How's it going? Is she learning well?
She is, but a bird is still more attractive than me, so she'll chase anything that moves. So yeah, that's my goal I'm working towards.
Awesome. And what are you in, say, 5 years from now? What would be your ideal scenario of where you would want to be? Like, where are you living? What are you doing? What does your ideal version of your life look like?
It'd be great if I have already started streaming in 5 years. I think that's achievable. I think living in Melbourne, like I love coming back home. I've travelled quite a bit and I'm pretty fortunate. My parents took my brother and I overseas a lot when we were younger. So I love like seeing other places, but I love coming back to Melbourne and, you know, just like it's so diverse and the coffee and like just the people are so familiar. Like it's like, oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Like when I hear like that really bogan Australian, I'm like, oh, it's so refreshing.
I'm
like,
home.
Yeah, like I can go to the servo. Like, oh, it's together. It's just really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think like too far into the future. I just like sort of take each day as it comes.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And so, okay, if it's your 40th birthday, your 50th birthday, and you've got all your favorite people around you, what do you want them to say about you? Or how do you hope that you've impacted people around you?
I would like others to say that I made them feel good. So I love, like, with no reciprocal, I just love boosting other people and lifting them up, the people around me. So there's many ways you can do that, but that really makes me feel whole and fulfilled. I think having a good energy and maybe being like adventurous and fun and kind, those things are important to me. Yeah.
And what about baby Beck? What would you want to, if you could have a little chat with her, what would you want to tell her?
Baby Beck, I want to say that the things that make you different will be your strengths later on. I think that I would have appreciated that when I was younger, because I just wanted to do the same as everyone else. And then, getting older, you really learn you. And I think self-development and learning about yourself is really important. So I think, I could really appreciate being different. And I think you can find that's a strength.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Oh, such a pleasure. Thank you for sharing so much about your health journey too. I know that it's a pretty personal thing to talk about. And I think that it's like, what an incredible journey that you've been on. And I'm so glad to hear that things are moving in a direction that's bringing you a bit more freedom and joy, which is awesome.
Happy to share with you, Carina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.